Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at top 7 most unsafe SUVs in 2024. Number 7. Nissan Pathfinder. The mid-size SUV Nissan Pathfinder is about as trustworthy as a fortune cookie forecast. It receives a dismal 2.5 out of 5 reliability rating from Consumer Reports, so you'll probably spend more time at the mechanic than at your favorite hiking location. When it comes to risk areas, the Pathfinder's crash test results are more average than excellent. The NHTSA gave it an overall rating of 4 stars, but because it only received 3 stars for frontal crashes, you may want to have a competent attorney in your glove box. In the small overlap test, the IIHS awarded it a mediocre rating. Therefore, if you're searching for a car that shouts "Fortress of Safety," this isn't it. Aspects of safety. It boasts standard features including emergency braking and a rear-view camera. But don't bother with fancy features like blind spot monitoring or lane departure warning. This Pathfinder is all about following your intuition. Don't forget about gas mileage either. You will be stopping at the gas station more frequently than a hummingbird at a feeder because the Pathfinder only gets 20 miles per gallon in the city and 27 miles per gallon on the highway. Therefore, the Nissan Pathfinder might not be your best option if you're searching for a dependable, safe, and fuel-efficient SUV, unless, of course, you want a little adventure. Number 6. Ford Explorer, a supporter of open spaces, and that's about it. It's a common option for moving families and equipment, but its safety ratings are about as exciting as watching paint dry. The NHTSA rated the Explorer 4 stars overall for crash testing, but the rollover resistance received a worrisome 3 stars. The IIHS only received a marginal rating for the small overlap front test, not doing much better. The Explorer has standard safety features, like as blind spot monitoring and a rear-view camera that gives you a blurry, fisheye view of your surroundings. You're out of luck though if you're hoping for cutting-edge features like adaptive cruise control or lane departure warning. You'll have to fend for yourself in the traffic maze because there isn't much sophisticated electronics, especially in tight spots. Therefore, even if the Explorer has a lot of space, it's advisable to have a lot of reservations about safety. Number 5. Kia Sorento. Though it has a ton of features and is fashionable, the 2024 Kia Sorento might not be the safest vehicle on the road. It received a respectable 4 out of 5 stars from Consumer Reports for safety. In demanding crash tests, the Sorento didn't exactly perform well. It received a moderate rating from the IIHS, which is slightly better than yikes in a test when the vehicle only collides with another car in its front corner. Positively, meanwhile, the IIHS gave the headlights a low rating, which makes it difficult to see where you're driving at night. Nor were the results of the other crash testing particularly noteworthy. The Sorento performed rather well in a head-on collision with some extra cushion, the moderate overlap test, but it only received an acceptable rating in a side swipe. Not exactly confidence-inspiring. Therefore, even though the Sorento may have a nice appearance, safety should come first and not come second. Make sure to consider the safety ratings of potential SUVs before making a purchase. Number 4. Chevrolet Trax. To be honest, safety ratings are important if you want to avoid becoming a hood ornament in someone else's crash, but Consumer Reports isn't exactly gushing about it. Let's examine the crash testing first. The Trax received a 4 stars out of 5 from the NHTSA, along with a side impact rating that would make a marshmallow cringe. This implies that your passenger's prospects may not look good if you get T-boned. Not to be outdone, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety stated that the Trax is not a highly recommended vehicle for safety. It did well in a select few categories. However, it did not perform as confidently as expected in areas like roof strength and minor overlap crashes. Furthermore, some of the more sophisticated safety measures you might require are only included in expensive packages, so you'll have to decide between saving some money and compromising on safety. Therefore, even though the Chevrolet Trax is small, it doesn't have a very good safety record. You may want to seek elsewhere if you're trying to find an SUV that won't make you feel like a crash test dummy. Number 3. Jeep Renegade. Tough on the outside, but dubious on the safety front. Although this small SUV is designed for off-road exploration, safety is more about resilience in challenging conditions than enjoying luxury accommodations. Its safety rating of 3.5 out of 5 from Consumer Reports is about as exciting as beige carpet. The NHTSA gave it only 3 stars for frontal protection in crash tests, which means that even a minor obstacle could be challenging to navigate. Advanced technologies like lane departure warning and blind spot monitoring are as scarce as finding a luxury service in a remote wilderness, even if it has a rear-view camera as standard. The inside. Imagine a challenging puzzle with controls and seating that offer minimal support. Perfect for relaxing, but not so great for preventing an accident that would turn you into a human pinball. Therefore, the Renegade might not be your first pick if you're searching for an SUV that strikes a balance between safety and excitement. However, while carefully traversing those bumps, it does look fantastic. Number 2. Chevrolet Blazer. The Chevrolet Blazer is a mid-size SUV with a stylish appearance, but its crash test results are less impressive. Although it has more functionality than a Swiss Army knife, it falters a little when it comes to emergency safety. Although the Blazer's performance in crash tests is closer to a 3 out of 5, which is possibly more dangerous and about as exciting as watching paint dry, Consumer Reports gave it a 4 out of 5 rating for safety. It fails the small overlap front test, indicating that in an imperfect head-on collision, it may collapse like a cardboard box. Real life isn't like a Hollywood movie with carefully staged dramatic moments after all. It may or may not have blind spot monitoring and lane departure warning. What about the rear-view camera? It's about as helpful when trying to parallel park as a blindfold. Thus, even if the Blazer has an amazing appearance, you might want to keep looking if you're looking for an SUV that strikes a balance between style and excellent safety. Being stylish is wonderful, but being safe is much more important. Number 1. Jeep Grand Cherokee. A giant of towing and off-roading, but also occasionally involved in bumper car accidents. The Grand Cherokee can handle tough terrain, but it may be more difficult to maneuver in rush-hour traffic. Regarding its crash test findings, Consumer Reports isn't exactly overly excited, especially when it comes to the difficult small overlap front test that mimics an actual impact. Although it scored well in another test, that's like receiving a gold star for following the lines. Nice, but insufficient. It received a 4 out of 5 stars from the NHTSA, which is about as exciting as watching paint dry. Although stability control and airbags are excellent safety features, they shouldn't be your sole ones. Therefore, even though the Grand Cherokee is a sturdy car, prospective purchasers should strap up and do their homework before deciding on one. Keep your love for this voyage from turning into a bad experience with the closest phone pole. We have now reached the conclusion of this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel in order to receive future videos if you found it useful.